Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It is once again time for a shop tour. We are in the last week of March. Time's flying by. March 30th already. April 1st this Saturday. We will not be having a shop tour next week because I will be in Virginia at Virginia International Raceway for this first super tour that I will be attending of the year with Greg in the BMW. So if you are interested in watching, if you haven't paid much attention this year, if you go to scca.com/live, they have a really good live timing. And if you go to the SCCA official YouTube channel, they have awesome live video and commentation this year that is heads and tails better than what we've seen in years past. So check that out next weekend. I'm going to be there with the BMW. So let's get into it here. Mike Taylor's going to be very happy to see that I am looking really good on his engine here. So the bottom end, I've just got his very nicely painted oil pan just sitting here. Bottom end is completed. Getting ready to put the oil pump on. I just have this sitting here for our quick little tour. You can see that the cylinder head is ready to go. We've got some camshafts and some super secret goodies going on under there that I'm not going to show you because I don't like showing everything that I do. But you can see he runs a really nice ATI damper. We've got a good ACL oil pump, all sorts of good goodies. So finishing up this project, hoping to get this done before I leave for VIR because Mike is going to be coming to visit me hopefully the week before we go to Hallett and then go down to Hallett. He's never been to Hallett, so I think that's his goal. Did get the new gears in for the Miata transmission. However, they are still sitting right here in this box. So here's the gears. All it lacks is some time on my part to get finished up. So in a couple weeks, should have that taken care of. Did get a new little project in. This is Adam Penrod's endurance car. She's as you can see, she's a little rough, but it's an endurance car and that's okay. It's just here for some cold start and warm-up tuning. So we actually dyno tuned this engine last year, but as he was going to these tracks where it's really cold in the morning, he was having a lot of trouble with the cold start. So the problem when you come to dyno is we never get a really good chance to do a proper cold start and warm-up tune after the car's been dynoed, because you literally have to let it set for 5 or 6 hours in between these cold starts. So doing a cold start tune every morning, I'll come out and do a little tune up with it, and then I basically wait until the afternoon or the next morning to actually get after that again. So just have a little alignment, corner weight and alignment to do on Wade's car, and then we'll be looking good before Hallett. And Mike Froh is coming to pick his car up on Monday right before we leave for VIR. We did have a super successful test session with Bob Shader in the Z car. So we went out to Heartland Park on Sunday with a group called Road Motorsports. They're a group out of Kansas City, and they basically let you bring whatever you want. Race cars, street cars, prototypes, whatever you've got, you can go out on the track. So we did a half day out there. I drove the car a little bit, but mainly Bob drove the car to get the rust knocked off. Obviously, he has not driven in quite a few years. The track was a little wet, and it was extremely cold on Sunday. So you can see the car is pretty dirty right now. So I've got just a couple of little details to deal with before Hallett, and then of course get all this dirt off, and we're going to be looking good. So very successful test day with the 370Z. So looking forward to get him down to Hallett. And yet another batch of differentials from our favorite Spec Miata differential supplier. So don't know that I'm going to even touch these before I leave for VIR, because I've got a pretty busy rest of my week. Believe it or not, and of course this won't be part of the shop tour, but once or twice a year I have a couple of different British car clubs out of Kansas City that like to come and run on the dyno. So why do they like to do this? Well, mainly because in general their cars run horribly. And if you don't know much about tuning a British car, It's all about either SU carburetors, understanding how points work in a distributor. So we get their little British cars onto the dyno, and you'd be surprised at the drivability and gains we can make. So tomorrow they have the dyno booked all day. So that means no Miata differentials are going to get done. Plus, trying to get Mike Taylor's Honda motor finished up. Plus, I have Steve Lanzier's Spec Miata engine that I really want to get started on before I head off to VIR. Steve, if you're watching, I know I kind of promised that I would have this engine to you by the end of March, and it may still happen, but it's going to be real tight for that engine to get out of here. So we'll see about that. The BMW is ready to go. My checklist is finished. I have one detail to do on the race trailer before I head out on this 2,000-mile round trip next week, but really looking forward to getting to VIR and seeing what Greg thinks about the car and getting some feedback from another driver that I really respect. Obviously, I'm the only one that's driven this car in the last 4 years, and I'm really excited about getting his feedback on the car as well. So in the meantime, we also, of course, have more engines coming in. Actually got the opportunity to, I've been talking to this guy for a few years about building an engine for him, but Craig McAfee and his son, Hugh, run some STL MX-5s in the Northeast with Flat Out Motorsports. So they sent me one of their engines to do a refresh / inspect for upgrades, see if we can make some improvements. So excited about getting to this engine project as well. Won't be getting this done until I finish up another Honda project that is in this other crate over here. But it's in process. I think he said he was having a lot longer lead time for motors than what I am going to give him. So looking forward to that project. We did get one more pretty kind of an interesting new project, and it's not a project for me, but we've got a brand new Spec Miata that DJ Manis and his son built. They're going to be running in NASA with the car. I did build the engine for it. Obviously, as you guys have been paying any attention, you know I don't build a whole lot of Spec Miata engines, but DJ is a personal friend of mine, and they did a really, really nice job on this car. If you take a look on the inside, you can see it's got a really nice AIM MXG dash in it. It's got a nice cool suit in the back, a nice fire system. They did a really good job with the cage. Really happy with what they did on this car. Beautiful car. We'll see how long it lasts that way, because in Spec Miata, as most of you probably know, a little bit of rubbing happens. But always good to send them out onto the track looking like this. Beautiful car. So it is basically here to have the engine broken in and dyno tuned, and then they'll be getting this car out onto the racetrack before you know it. So always enjoy seeing new cars like that. That's our shop tour for the week, guys. Like I said, we're not going to have a shop tour next week, but the week after, obviously, we are going to have a big debrief on what happened at VIR. I've got a bunch of customers going. There are a bunch of entries at VIR. I think that I saw 14 or 15 E-production cars alone, about 16 F-production cars. They both run in the same class, or in the same run group, not the same class. So we've got a lot of customers running next week. Be there to support them in any way I can, as well as obviously taking care of the BMW and experiencing what we're going to experience. It's a bit of an unknown for me. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you've had a good week. The weather is warming up. I love it. Springtime is upon us. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care.